I don't remember what stream I told you guys I was gonna tell this story in, and then I just forgot. But this was like earlier this year. We were doing something, and I said, remind me to tell you guys about the Oliver and Company story, and you guys did, but I still forgot because I suck at what I do. When I was really little, my mom was still going to college, and for a few weeks at a time, you know, I would be in daycare because my mom would be at school, my dad would be at work, and like, you know, my grandma and grandpa, they were either sick or they weren't feeling well, or maybe they were on vacation. I don't know. For whatever reason, I wound up in daycare for a few weeks, which is fine. It doesn't matter. This would have been back in like, it's like 1990. Well, I'm trying to think when my mom graduated university. It was like early 90s. So this would have been like 1993, 94 maybe. And we had this really shitty daycare center here in town. They rented a space in like a strip center on the outskirts of town. It was kind of like in the bad side of town in the neighborhood. They literally, I don't remember much of the place because this is coming up on like 26 years ago. But I remember the inside of this place was like, it looked like a Kmart that all the fixtures had been removed from. It had like that tile floor and shit. They would occasionally do stuff with the kids. They would take us to the movie theater every once in a while. And to do that, they had 2 of those big ass Chevrolet vans. The kind that you buy specifically to like abduct children with. The big ones. Like, I can't hold my hands any wider or else they will be out of shot. But I'm like, the big vans. The big-ass vans with, like, the curtains in the windows and the ladder going up. It was like basically a miniature RV. You could fit a lot of kids in those. Rapists know that. I didn't get raped. But they had 2 of those vans, and they used those to take us places. And they took us to the movie theater here in town. 1 screen back in the day. There's a picture of me standing out in front of it with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the marquee. And I really need to find that picture because I love that picture. So they took us down to this dinky 1-screen movie theater, the only one we had in town. And we went to go see Oliver and Company, which came out in theaters, I think, in 1988, but animated movies would occasionally just get picked up and just go back into rotation here in town, where they'd rent them for like a weekend so that parents could take their kids just to get them out of their hair. It was the early 90s, okay? You couldn't just put the kids down in front of YouTube. So sometimes movie theaters would go get movies that were 5 or 6 years old just to show them for a week. So Oliver and Company was one of those things. So me and everybody else, we crowded into these 2 stupid vans. We went down to the movie theater. We went to go see Oliver and Company. Everybody got their little kitty popcorn, their kitty soda, and their bag of M&Ms or whatever. And then as we were leaving, you know, the movie was over. I don't remember the movie. I don't remember hating it. I don't remember liking it. But I remember coming out of that movie, and it was me, and there was one other kid. His name was Waylon. And he was not my friend. But he was the only person at that daycare center that I knew, so he became my default friend. So him and I chummed around purely because we knew each other. We didn't know anybody else in the daycare. So we just kind of loosely, you know, we were kind of friends of circumstance. And as Electric Sheep City, his name was Waylon. He was kind of a douchebag. He wasn't a douchebag, but he was like a really weird kid. He didn't wear like Coke bottle glasses, but he looked like he should have. Like, he had that weird look about him. He had like a fade cut that was kind of spiked up in the front. And he always wore shirts that looked like he stole them from Garth Brooks. They had the ugliest patterns. The patterns of his shirts look like the company that makes like bowling alley carpet also was in the textile business of making shirt patterns. I don't have anything against the guy. Waylon, if you're watching this, I don't hate you. When I said you're not my friend, I did not mean that in a mean way. I meant that as in like, you and I never hung out. You hung out with my buddy Sea-Dog, and you crashed his bike on Christmas, okay? That's like literally all I know about you, okay? But we're coming out we're coming out of this movie, right? And Waylon says, hang on, I have to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, Okay, fine. So I go into the bathroom with Waylon just because this is what you did. We were just waiting. We were with each other. We're hanging out. I went in the bathroom. As we did that, the two dumb fat cunts running that daycare center decided that they were just gonna go, and they did not do a head count. So when we go in the bathroom, and we come out of the bathroom a few minutes later, and the lobby is empty except for like the people behind the counter and like two other people there. And Waylon's got no fucking idea what's going on. He is completely clueless to the fact. So we walk out into the lobby, and I'm like, it's like that gif of like John Travolta from fucking Pulp Fiction where he's just like looking around. I'm starting to piece together the fact that like they just left us at the movie theater. And fucking Waylon is like, he's impressed with the poster on the wall of Baby's Day Out. He's looking at this is seared into my mind, this mental image I have of Waylon looking up at the big 27x40 theatrical poster in a lighted frame with the little light bulbs that like that, like the old movie theaters used to do. A fucking Baby's Day Out of this kid sitting in the back of the taxi, looking up to the left and smiling. That is burned into my fucking head. And he's so excited. He's like, "Oh look, they got Baby's Day Out," and I'm thinking like, Waylon, these motherfuckers just left us here. You dumb son of a bitch. I told him, I'm like, dude, I think they probably left. And we walked outside and we looked in the parking lot. Right where the vans were parked, and they were gone. We go back inside the movie theater, and we tell the person, the teenagers selling popcorn to everybody, we're like, "Hey, we were here with the daycare, and like they didn't take us, they left." And I shit you not, the guy behind the counter starts laughing, and he walks into the back room. And then the owner comes out and just sees these two stupid kids standing there in front of the candy display. And then he takes the phone off the wall. I guess either this happened before, or he knew the number, or he had it on, or maybe he did look up the number. I don't remember that aspect of it. I just remember the owner coming out, seeing us, didn't say a word to us. He picked up the phone and just called the daycare center. And then they gave us free sodas and told us to go sit down. And we waited for them to come back. When they came back, these two, it wasn't two of them, I think it was one of the ladies just showed up because the other one had to be watching the kids, because Lord knows two of them can't do that fucking job, so sure, leave one of them back there. So she pulled back up, and she was fucking livid at us. Like it was our fault that Waylon had to take a piss, and I went into the bathroom with him, like... At the time, I was, I was sad, right? I was like, oh, we got in trouble. We did something bad. We got yelled at. And as I got older, I'm like, no, we didn't do jack shit wrong. We had to use the bathroom, and these two stupid fat bitches didn't count the fucking kids before they left. And I remember telling my mom this story, like a decade plus later, long after this daycare center had closed up, and she was like, why didn't you ever tell me about that? She was like, and I'm thinking, like, it didn't register to me, because at the time, I was like, I'm not going to tell my parents this happened, because I got in trouble with them, so if I tell them, I'm going to get in trouble again. So, I'm going to be sneaky, and I'm not going to say anything. When I guess, like, maybe I should have. That story, as stupid as it sounds, is, like, one of my favorite memories from when I was a kid, just because of how goofy it is. Fucking Oliver and Company, Baby's Day Out, Daycare Center, two fat bitches in a couple of Chevrolet vans. The last one kind of sounds like a ZZ Top song, but not quite, but you guys get my point. Also, Daemonic Void, you are correct. You're counting at least two things that are probably illegal in this story. You guys are right. They fucked up big time. Like, if you did that today... Jesus Christ, you could probably get sued for that. Or, like, if they had, like, a license for daycare, running a daycare, they'd probably lose that. Like, that's the type of shit you get in big trouble for. Also, you guys are dropping Waylon jokes, like, Waylon and Company, Waylon's Day Out. Wave Cube, moral of the story is that Oliver and Company was a bad movie, right? I'm like, That's the thing, is I don't remember liking it or hating it. I don't remember anything of the movie. I remember going to see it, and I remember being left there. But I don't remember the other... I remember that, but...